Warner Brothers has set expectations for Hogwarts Legacy's free summer update. In case you missed it, basically, Hogwarts Legacy, they announced that they're going to do a free patch and free update later this year. Specifically, what they said was that they were going to bring along, quote, additional updates and features for the game this summer. That's awesome. And in addition to that, they're bringing over the exclusive PlayStation Quest from PlayStation. It'll be available on all platforms now, which if you don't know what that mission is, it's a mission in Hogsmeade where like you basically get your own shop and it's like a horror themed quest line. It is by almost every single metric, I think, the best side quest in the entire game, far and away. And it's a PlayStation exclusive, at least until this summer. So they're bringing all of that. But over the last couple of weeks, there's been some creators online that have started speculating about this update, and it's just turned into standard speculative hype where everybody's like, yeah, and I think that they're going to add a new area, and I think they're going to add, the new game plus, they're going to add in new missions, new creatures to find and collect, maybe new boss fights. They're going to do all of this stuff, and they start to break it down and list all of these things, and most of it is just totally made up. Most of it totally made up. And so to their credit, they've actually come out and tried to sort of calm down these expectations. Okay. So what they've said is, this comes from community manager Chandler Wood. And Chandler Wood is the guy that was in all those promotional videos for Hogwarts Legacy. If you remember, he's the one that hosted the unboxing of the collector's edition. I think he's done a tremendous job. I think he should be very, very proud of the work he's done to promote the most successful financially game of, or at least I guess the game that moved the most units. I shouldn't say most successfully financially successful, because that's probably Fortnite, but still, he's still responsible for an amazing marketing campaign and I think communication to the community that helped this game become so wildly successful. I still insist that collector's edition was laughably terrible, but that's just me. He said, quote, "We are thrilled that you are all excited for the free update to Hogwarts Legacy this summer. We love seeing all the guesses and hopes for what will be part of this update, and while we are not ready to talk about it yet, I do want to set some expectations for what we are working on. Our original wording of additional updates and features for the game was very intentional. This update is a small way of us showing appreciation to our players for the amazing reception of the game." And that's that. That's the whole thing. Okay. This is going to be exactly what they said it was going to be. This is going to be a smaller update. This is going to be something where they can add in a couple of little tidbits here and there, a couple of quality of life improvements to hopefully get people to come back for a little bit. But you shouldn't expect anything too transformational or crazy. My hope would just be that they're able to bring a weather toggle or a season toggle. I'd like to be able to set it to winter whenever I want, or fall, instead of having to load back to a previous save to get that, or use a mod. So I think that would be a great quality of life addition. Other little things like that I think would be great to see, but don't get your hopes up too high for this to be anything crazy elaborate. It's not going to be a DLC. I did see somebody on Twitter, they're like, I'm just really hoping they can add multiplayer with that update. They're not going to add goddamn multiplayer. So just don't expect that. Okay. Don't expect that. But we'll see. I mean, I personally am hopeful that they do a quick, small little update with a couple of little things, and then they just move on to the sequel and they just get hard to work figuring out what that's going to be and how that's going to surpass our expectations. I think a lot of people are very excited at the prospect of a sequel. In the last couple of weeks, some of the statements from Warner Brothers executives have us a little worried because they've been talking about doubling down on live service games, on trying to find ways to turn them into games as a service, find ways to keep players engaged for years and years and years, stuff like that. And I think that is a fundamental misunderstanding of why Hogwarts Legacy was successful, but the fact that those statements were made in front of investors immediately makes me discredit those statements. I don't take them as seriously after that. Not because they would just straight up lie to investors, but because whenever an executive is talking to an audience, they almost always tweak what they're saying to make the audience in front of them happiest. Usually. An example of when that didn't happen was with Diablo Immortal. I think that's what it was called, right? And you know, you all have phones, don't you? And they were just genuinely shocked. Everybody in the audience was booing them. Like they had no idea that would be received poorly. So sometimes it can go badly, but usually if an executive is talking to like a group of investors, they're going to try to make the group of investors happy. And how you do that is by telling them, yeah, we're working on stuff that's going to milk our customers for even more money. And it's going to be super, super great. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. Is this an out of seasons April Fool's joke? Dude, that was so savage. What an amazing clip. And what a tremendous example of how sometimes executives just get totally out of touch. Like they genuinely thought, well, it's a Diablo game and it's on your phone, so everybody's going to be super thrilled, right? Everybody's going to get a Diablo game they can take anywhere. And they just had no idea that people would see right through it, which is that, oh, this is just a way for you to sell us microtransactions. That's all it is. Okay. That day, Activision feared 2 guys with red shirts. Yeah, and didn't they stop? I think they stopped doing the Q&A at the event. I think this last BlizzCon, they took away the microphones, didn't they? I remember reading about that, which is pretty funny because like we can't afford to have another one. I kind of get it. Because like now everybody's going to try to be the one that goes viral and pwns the creators for something stupid. But it is still just really, really, really funny that they took the microphones away after being curb stomped in front of so many people. But anyway, we'll see with Hogwarts Legacy what happens with the sequel. I'm cautiously optimistic. I think I like many other people was very surprised and impressed with Hogwarts Legacy, and I'm hopeful that they can double down and continue to surprise us with that franchise moving forward. So time will tell. He took my thing.